instead of 24. And that will save us a great deal of money. We've done that already. I have ordered, and it has not yet been done, that all of our lights have to be properly timed. Wake up, the lights are still on in the morning at 7:15 when the sun is way up in the sky, and the Disney lights are on all around the Yorkshire building. That has got to be taken care of immediately. So in many ways, we're starting to make the cuts that we possibly can right now. The Budget Committee is going to go even further and suggest other cuts. We're looking at all avenues to cut expenses. We're doing everything possible to avoid any increases. And for people to speculate without foundation that we're going to raise rates tremendously, that it's unfair to the board. That's all I can say. We'll do what we have to do. We have to live here. I believe this lady hasn't had a chance, Kim, if you don't mind.
I just want to say I've been a resident here for many, many years, and I know what's going on with the delinquencies and financial problems. But I have always paid my rent. I paid my first full maintenance assessment, and I'm not amenable to an increase in maintenance unless some delinquencies are gone after immediately and some change in all the maintenance has not been paid. Otherwise, I'm not anxious to have a maintenance increase.
One of the things I would
Kim, you wanted to
suggest,
make a comment?
It's just a recommendation to cut the budget only because I saw the truck today. The mats, is that something that's necessary to have that cleaning service? Only because the majority of the time I see the mats at the back doors, they're not even used properly. They're jammed in the doors to keep them ajar so people can get in through the door without having to use a key or walk around the front. So air conditioners coming out. I mean, in almost every building I see this almost on a daily basis. So are those mats necessary? They're using them to crumple up, stick them in the doors, and air conditioner out the door.
Okay, well, yeah. Now, one of the comments that was made, I think Paul mentioned about doing something about the lighting in the hallways.
Oh, definitely, way too many lights.
Look, the hallways we evidently have a very old lighting system. And we can't have any brighter, this is what I'm told, we can't have brighter luminaries in the ceiling fixtures. Those hallways are dark. And if we start cutting back on lighting in the hallways, we face a hell of a lot more problems with somebody falling or having a problem because they can't see.
Well, my lobby,
So that's an economy that we cannot make right now.
yeah, well, my lobby in particular, I live in the Edelweiss, I don't know how anybody else is lighting it, but first thing in the morning, all day long, bright lights, there's about 16 different lights right now.
I just commented about that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But those mats, I mean, maybe that could be something that would go.
well, I want to offer just one quick suggestion. I think that if we eliminate all the lights by the apartment, it's not turning out much power, and it's a waste of money, and it won't affect the lighting in the hallways. Get rid of it. It's costing us money and has no real function. The lights by every apartment, that little light by your door, it gives off almost no light and it costs us money. What? Yeah, but that's 832. It cuts it down. Whatever we save, we save.
Okay. Can we move on?
Can I say one thing? Why don't we cut on the people, the cleaning people, instead of 5 days a week, 3 days a week?
There you go.
It's gonna save us 2 days.
Instead of 5 days.
The building doesn't get that dirty in time.
I think that's one area where nobody wants to cut back.
One day, cut 4 days instead of 5.
Yeah, let's move forward, please. Okay, next item on the agenda.
We have one more.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make it brief. My name is Belle Clifford. I have lived here for 20 years. I've never, ever been a word of care.
Give them a nice.
It's very,
That's all.
I have lived here for 20 years. I have never, ever been delinquent, and that's not what I want to say. However, those of us that have lived in the village, we see everything cut back and back and back. Not in the past 20 years, not in the past 15, not in the past 10, not in the past 5, but maybe in the past 3. Now, many of us have reached a point now, I will always pay my maintenance. I will always pay my assessment because that's the way I am. But eventually, I'm going to leave. And people like me are going to leave. And you're going to be left with the delinquents and the dregs, and that's where you're going to have a problem. So I'll stay here.
So what you're saying is very popular. Now, please tell me what your plan is what your plan is for us to get more money so that we can go back to being the generous association we always were. Well, that's what I'm saying. What is your solution?
Turning out the lights over a doorway. I mean, people can't see it.
I just said that, okay.
Cutting back on all the things that we enjoyed.
Because we don't have the money to pay for it.
Well, so what's going to keep us here? Nothing. And we'll leave.
Well, there's other
And then you'll really have trouble.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, again, is Mr. Samuel's illegal residence. What was your purpose in having that on the agenda?
The problem of illegal residents, there's been a spate of emails from unit owners who are complaining about the conditions that they see in the neighborhood. People walk around, they see a lot of things that are going on that are wrong. They see dirt, garbage everywhere, people moving in and out. And a lot of these people may never have gone through orientation because they're not here legally. And nobody is doing anything about it. This is a major cause of our problems and a major cause of discontent in the community. And people get very upset. Now we want to take more money from them, and we're not doing anything about this particular problem, which is a major problem. That's what the board should be addressing.
I have a thought about that. I know in the Bordeaux, we have several very active people, and we communicate. So if anybody has, has a suspicion or a feeling that something is wrong or that a tenant is wrong, we speak up, and it gets brought to the office for inspection right there in the files. They can look up, is there a tenant supposed to be there? Is someone registered there? It's ABC. And I would suggest that people who have, that someone should be in every building available, the captain, and people feel free. I'm not talking about accusing because you don't know until they go into the files what the real status is, but report. And, there must be there are 3 units we followed up right away on in the Bordeaux, and action is taken. So a lot of it's communication. Have your captains of your buildings, I would suggest, be available to the people, and then you confer and express your concern about whatever, and the captain will call the office, and they can look right in the file. Is this car
Well,
registered?
what is being done about it? Even
I
if it
have
goes into the
done
file,
that
what is
numerous
being done?
times. I've never seen a door knocked on, Linda. You know I emailed you about many apartments, and I've yet to see anybody from the office go knock on a door I complained about. 15 people running a poorhouse, whatever the hell they're doing in there. It's a resort, South American
Okay,
resort.
there are a couple of things, and this is, I always do your building, and I'm sure that everyone else would. if, you know, if people had a system and knew how to bring it about. So we're not into accusing before knowing, but if it's not in the records, you do not belong there, or you have to get yourself in the records. And
Yeah.
the system is that when someone does not belong, a letter gets issued to that owner to please be aware you have an illegal residence, et cetera, just call out.
And then am I followed up on?
I have one more question, one more statement. I want to add to that, just a moment. Our original condo docs, going back to 1979, said that this is a community of single-family residents, and that there are to be 2 persons to each bedroom, and you figure it out, two persons to a bedroom. We have people exceeding that continuously. No one's checking it, no one's following it up. A child under 10 is considered as a half a person. I assure you, we must have 100 apartments, a minimum of 100 apartments or more, 150, where that is being violated. More people are living. I heard a horror story in one building. There was 5 people living in an M apartment. I don't know which building it was. Somebody told me about it. Okay.
I would just like to, I'd like to give some people.
Yeah, that.
Brandon.
Maybe you'll even register the
If you will keep your hands off it, if you will keep your hands off the committee and let me run the committee, I'll be happy to do it. But if you intercede, because you have a bad habit of putting people on a committee, like Marvin and Steve, and take them off. I'm on the construction committee, and I'm off. I'm on the budget committee, you took me off because you said I resigned. No, you give me a notarized paper that you will keep your hands off it.
Let him be on that committee.
I'd like to
He's talking about time.
Francis,
It's later than that. Well,
Francis, may I get,
Because you don't have the judgment to do this here. You don't know how to run a committee.
Francis, I'd like to give everyone a little hope. I'd like to give some positive thoughts to this meeting and some hope, please. Okay, first of all, I'd like to let you know something that's going on here. First of all, 18 months ago, we passed a new amendment that allowed current owners to invest in this community. And as buying the foreclosures, and we anticipated that this foreclosure problem was coming. And as a result, I wrote an amendment which is an investment opportunity plan where owners who currently live here, current owners, can buy additional units that are in foreclosure, upgrade them to a certain standard. They would be allowed to be rented out right away until the market comes back to put them back on the maintenance rolls. Well, we've done more than 15 of these units in the past year. And when they've been upgraded, they went from not being on the maintenance rolls to being upgraded and on the maintenance rolls. And right now, Mr. Miro has just purchased a 2-bedroom foreclosure on the lake.
What is that?
And this is where the future is for us. This is our hope.
Nothing to do with what's on the agenda.
Yes, it does. This is our hope. This is our hope. Mr. Miro. They don't want to let me speak. They don't want you to hear this. They don't want you to hear this because it's your future and your chances. Mr. Miro is upgrading this unit right now. And it's going to be...
It's illegal immigrants.
What?
It's illegal residents. Illegal residents.
Illegal residents. What? Right. Well, this is a foreclosed unit that had been empty and hadn't paid maintenance in more than 2 years.
Illegal residents. Illegal residents, Mr. Schenkel.
They hang out for years.
Well, if you eliminate the empty apartments that are abandoned by upgrading them, they won't have a place to stay.
All right, let me ask Mr. Schenkel a
Everyone will be
question.
invited to this open house in about 2 weeks to show you what can be done here in the
Mr.
village.
Schenkel, I've got a question for you. Right in our building, N1M is an illegal residence that you put there. And you put, that's the second one you put here
There's no one
illegally.
delinquent there.
What?
There's no one delinquent
Did
there.
I say they were delinquent? I said illegal
How is that
residents.
hurting the village?
Because it's illegal.
Because you gotta follow rules.
You know, your voice, please
You gotta follow rules, Mr. Schenkel, not your rules, the rule. Ask this man, he knows what I'm talking about.
This new amendment, Jerry's gonna invest in this property. There's a group of other people that want to also invest in the village. And he's gonna share the profit on this with the association.
You're off the topic.
Francis, let me ask you, Francis, in reference to the illegal, if somebody buys 3 apartments here, they're living in one, who's living in the other 2? Do they follow up on it? No. I know for a fact that these 2 other apartments, people are in and out from Columbia, back and forth.
Have you reported it to the office?
You know what? Ask Howard.
Yeah, the problem with reporting it to the office is this is another proposal in my security committee, which we did earlier this year. We have a lot of empty units. There are 5 new Lauderhill police officers that are being hired with stimulus money. 5 new police officers in Lauderhill being hired with stimulus money. I'd like to see one of them living here, providing housing for a real police officer in our village. We have our own police officer who can follow up on our security issues.
I have a matter that is urgent, that has to be added to the agenda.
You need 6 votes for that, right?
You need 6 votes for that.
Well, I won't have 6 votes for that, all right?
No, you don't, you have to ask for it first.
I'm going to ask, okay? I would like to make a motion to add an item to the agenda to discuss a suit brought against the association by a firm of attorneys for services to the association. And it's a matter that is time sensitive and needs to be discussed by the board.
I make a motion to discuss the matter of Ernest Bowling, is it?
Yes, Burtis and Bowling.
Ernest and Bowling, to add it to the agenda.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to add the item to the agenda to discuss the Burtis and Bowling matter. Is there, will you call for the vote, please? Is there any objection?
Yes, I object.
All right, Ann, would you please call the roll on the vote, please, ma'am?
Yes.
It's general information. I need to discuss it, whatever.
Yes.
Scott Saville,
No.
Stuart Wool,
No, no discussion. We need 6
No
votes.
discussion, thank you.
Fred Smithrow,
Oh, I vote yes, but we don't have 6 votes.
yes.
That's too bad.
You got 6, you need 6.
You need
Read
6.
it. If you understood the docs, you'd understand, you wouldn't be so saying.
Everybody's been contacted by the office regarding, I just want to make sure before the board leaves, has the board all been contacted about a conference call on Monday in relation to this lawsuit? Okay. That's what this was about. We just wanted to update everybody. Right. Well, we just wanted to update everybody before the conference call, but since the vote didn't pass, we can't do that now. That's what it was about.